were waiting to get this hearing started. It was interesting too, because this time around, you know, Diddy was brought in first. He was brought in about a couple minutes after 2 p.m. today, and we were all kind of waiting to see. We had heard mumblings that his mom might be in courtroom, that we were waiting for the children, but then nothing happened. But then, in another twist and turn, the children do walk in, but this time it was a lot smaller bunch than it was the last time. So last time you're having all of Diddy's children, except with the exception of Love, who is just a 2-year-old child, so she wasn't at court. But you had all of Diddy's children there except Love. But this time around, you just had Justin Combs and Christian Combs, meaning that there was no Quincy there today. Delilah and Jesse weren't there. Chance wasn't there, and the caretakers of his younger children, who aren't of age just yet, they were not present inside the courtroom as well today. But his mom also wasn't in court today. So when Diddy came inside, you know, it was still that standard issued MDC jumpsuit. He's wearing khaki. You know, from that video of, I think that was obtained by Daily Mail back in September, of Diddy playing hacky sack in Central Park, to now he appeared just astonishingly thinner, which you can expect to be inside a federal detention center for a couple months now. A lot different from the luxury lifestyle that he was living before, but he appeared very noticeably thinner, and maybe being locked up in detention is starting to wear on him. He appeared grayer a little bit as well too, but again, he appeared just like how you would expect Diddy to appear for.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appear to be.
Let me rephrase it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were, all 8 were victimized.
Yeah,
meaning
victim.
This was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
Is your client fearful if Diddy does get out?
As you know, I represent other clients, actual victims who have sued Mr. Combs, Diddy, in civil court, and all of them are very apprehensive about their safety if he were to be granted bond. I am confident in the court. I am sure that the court will remain with their previous decision of no bond. I feel like the judge only gave this let me think about it just to not make it as obvious. But I have all the confidence in the world and the federal court and the state of New York that they will remain keeping Diddy under no bond, and that all of the victims in this case will be able to proceed sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and you mentioned, I mean, you don't just represent this man, you represent other alleged victims too, and people involved. Have there been any threats made against any of your clients?
There have been threats from people on the internet, but not from, at least what we don't know, from Diddy to be directly. So my clients have, Mr. Burgess has received several death threats. My client, Mrs. Parham, has been receiving threats, but we don't know if they're just regular people from the internet or if they're actually people who were sent by Diddy.
Do you have any idea where the threats are coming from? I mean, have you done any investigation?
Well, most of the investigation leads us to a lot of burner accounts on Instagram, and we're trying to now sift through possibly working with law enforcement to try to get subpoenas to determine the IP addresses of where those threats were emanating.
So, okay, interesting. We know that the cease and desist letter has now come. Has there been any other pressure of any kind that you or your clients have felt to stop talking?
In general, I feel that the gag order, when we talk about that, Mark Agnifilio wrote about me specifically, and also all of the other plaintiffs in the civil lawsuits to try to have all of us gagged. There's pressure every day that us continuing to talk about this is putting not only our lives in jeopardy.
It seems like the secrets surrounding Kim Porter's life and untimely death just keep unraveling. And now her ex, Al B. Sure, has made some jaw-dropping claims that could send shockwaves through the industry. According to Al, Kim left behind a tell-all diary detailing explosive allegations about Diddy. But here's the kicker. He claims it was deliberately destroyed in the infamous LA fires. Could this be a calculated cover-up to bury the truth forever? And just how deep do these secrets go? Kim Porter, a former model, actress, and longtime partner of Diddy, tragically passed away in 2018. While her death was officially ruled as complications from pneumonia, whispers of foul play have never quite faded. Now Al B. Sure is reigniting those rumors by claiming Kim had a secret diary that could expose some of the darkest corners of Diddy's empire. But this isn't just gossip. Federal investigators are allegedly involved, and Courtney Burgess, a grand jury witness, claims he's seen the real manuscript. Courtney Burgess isn't just anyone. He's the godson of Frank Lucas, the Harlem kingpin made famous in American Gangster. Burgess claims Kim's diary didn't just contain personal anecdotes. It supposedly exposed Diddy's alleged involvement in a massive drug network and his ties to some of the most dangerous and powerful figures in the world. If this is true, it could explain why the diary never made it to investigators. Reports suggest it was destroyed in the LA fires, sparking speculation that this was no ordinary blaze. Could the fire have been a calculated move to erase damning evidence? According to Al B. Sure, Kim confided in him about her fears before her death, saying she believed her life was in danger. She even claimed Diddy had access to rare substances that could harm her in a way investigators wouldn't be able to trace. These chilling revelations take an even darker turn when you consider Al's own health scare. Not long after he publicly hinted at foul play in Kim's death, he mysteriously fell into a coma. While he's since recovered, the timing of his near-death experience has raised more questions than answers. Adding another layer to this web of intrigue is Kim Porter's close-knit circle of friends. One unnamed source who claims to have spoken with Kim shortly before her death has alleged that she was planning to go public with details about Diddy's alleged blackmail operation. According to this source, Kim was deeply disturbed by what she discovered. Rumors of leverage tapes, allegedly used to control high-profile figures in the entertainment industry. Another friend who has chosen to remain anonymous for fear of retaliation hinted that Kim knew too much about the darker aspects of Diddy's empire. Kim was a light, but she was also someone who couldn't ignore the truth. She wanted to protect her kids, but she also wanted justice, the source revealed. Courtney Burgess has testified that Kim's diary contained far more than allegations of illegal activity. He claims to have seen tapes allegedly linked to Diddy, involving celebrities and even minors in disturbing, non-consensual situations. If these tapes exist and the allegations hold water, it wouldn't just end Diddy's career. It could take down an entire network of powerful people. Among the names whispered in connection to this alleged network are other industry moguls, high-profile executives, and even political figures. One such individual, a former associate of Diddy, who spoke under the condition of anonymity, claims the rapper's empire was built on more than music. There's a reason Diddy's been untouchable for so long, they said. He knows where the skeletons are buried, because he buried some of them himself. Now, with reports that Kim's diary may have been destroyed forever, many are left wondering what could have been so explosive that it warranted erasure. Conspiracy theories abound, with some suggesting the LA fires were a convenient cover for something far more sinister. And as Diddy faces mounting legal troubles, including RICO charges, the stakes couldn't be higher. Amidst the speculation, Kim's children have publicly denied the existence of any such diary, calling the rumors hurtful and false. But Al B. Sure and others close to Kim remain adamant that the diary existed and that its contents could change everything. Some speculate that the children's public statement may have been influenced by external pressures, as the stakes are incredibly high for everyone involved. Kim's death, once thought to be a tragedy of natural causes, is now under a harsh spotlight. Was her passing truly an unfortunate coincidence? Or is there a darker, more calculated story waiting to be told? Albie Shure's claims, Courtney Burgess's testimony, and the whispers from Kim's inner circle are reigniting questions that demand answers. What really happened to Kim Porter? And who stands to lose the most if the truth comes to light?
Filed a civil complaint on behalf of his client, Grace O'Markey. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her last name, but I believe it is O'Markey. Grace O'Markey in Los Angeles Superior Court, accusing 26-year-old Christian Combs of drugging her and sexually assaulting her in December of 2022 when she was working in a charter boat in St. Martin. So according to the lawsuit, O'Markey says that she had been working as a steward, providing food and drinks on that yacht for a 12-hour period, and she was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use among sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. This is, by the way, something that it was also alleged in Jones's lawsuit, that Combs would spike the drinks of different people. But focusing on Christian Combs, O'Markey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure O'Markey to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. O'Markey alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas. O'Markey reportedly told Christian, quote, "Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." O'Markey then says that she told Christian she couldn't stay with him unless it was approved by a supervisor, all of whom she knew would be asleep at the time, so this was a way for her to get out of the situation. She claims that Christian said, "Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now." O'Markey then says she responded with, quote, "Well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing." O'Markey says that she tried to go back to her work, but Christian found her again, wanted her to find him a place to sleep for the night. So she ended up taking him to the cinema room for the yacht, which doubled as a place for people to sleep. And she claims that is when Christian blocked her and groped her, took off his clothes, tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. She says that she was able to fight him off until someone came in.
R&B singer Albie Shure breaks his silence on dating Sean Diddy Combs' late ex, Kim Porter, in a new Peacock documentary. Albie Shure, whose legal name is Albert Joseph Brown, opens up in Diddy, the Making of a Bad Boy, about the alleged love triangle between him, Kim, and Combs.
You got me acting crazy in front of all these people.
Something is not right with this.
Brown alleges, "I was told that Combs wasn't too happy about anyone who had a relationship with Kimberly. Kimberly said, 'Don't do this. Don't get involved. You will get killed.' He adds, 'Let's just say you gotta listen to Kimberly, because not only was she trying to save me, she was putting her own life in danger.'" The R&B star ultimately cuts himself off, citing ongoing legal proceedings, but says he intends to share further details, quote, "at some point." Back in October, Brown made headlines for an Instagram post in which he referred to Porter's death as a, quote, "tragic murder," and called for an investigation into her death, which the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner coroner ruled to be natural, with a diagnosis of lobar pneumonia.